Hey there everybody, it's Johnny Reb here again, and I just wanted to make a video where I discuss, in particular, the Confederate flag, Southern heritage, and how the average Southerner feels about it. What we think. See how the other half live, sort of thing. Okay, first of all, about the flag. Yes, the flag has some negative stuff attached to it. Yes, it has a little bit, quite a lot to do with Jim Crow, slavery, racism, all that ugly crap. Okay? I will admit that. But the same can be said of the Stars and Stripes. Anybody that has done any kind of research can tell you that. All we want basically is to just be left alone, and to be allowed to honor our ancestors. That's it. This isn't just a bunch of old dead guys. What I'm talking about here, that's people's family members, man. People's flesh and blood. And when you insult somebody's family, that cuts deep. Okay? That's why a lot of us are so up in arms about the flag being taken down, or a monument removed, or vandalized, or whatever can possibly happen to Southern heritage. And when I say Southern heritage, you need to look at it like this. It's not just Southern heritage. It's not just Southern history. It's American history. It's American heritage. You know, there are people that actually want references to Thomas Jefferson and George Washington removed simply because they were slave owners. Look at it this way. We feel that when you do this stuff to our ancestors, that's like America turning their back on them. For example, Washington and Jefferson, they founded our country. Yet people are against them. They don't like... Look, I understand you don't like somebody because of something bad they did in the past. But if they have made a major contribution to society and into history itself, they have to be honored in some way. Another way we feel is like this. I may have already said it, but this is people's flesh and blood that are being insulted, are being hated, and ridiculed, and put down. We don't like that. How would you like it if that happened to you? Huh? You probably wouldn't like it very much. We just want to be left alone to honor our ancestors. That's it. There's nothing black and white about it. There's nothing racist about it. We just want to honor our ancestors. Period. And if you're going to get in the way of that, we're going to try to stop you. A lot of... Look, I have as far as I know, 3 Confederate ancestors. Privates Benjamin Franklin West and James W. West. They both served in the 26th Virginia Infantry Regiment under Colonel Powhatan Page in Rice's Brigade. I will send a link. No, not a link. I'll send a little thing detailing the war records later on. And I have another ancestor that served with the 12th North Carolina Company I. Part of, I forget what brigade that was with. But anyway, how many of you out there know exactly what your ancestors did during the Civil War? Can you tell me what their occupations were? Can you tell me if they fought, if they were even here in the country? I doubt that you can. Very few people can actually tell you, hey, I know exactly what my ancestors did 150 years ago. Okay? It's a family thing. It's a home roots sort of thing. If you insult our ancestors, you're insulting our family. If you're insulting our family, you're insulting us. And rightfully so, we get pissed off. And there's another thing about the flag. Yes, there's a ton of negative attachments to it. But there are also negative attachments to the Stars and Stripes. Nobody's calling for that to be banned because of its attachment to slavery. Nobody's calling for it to be banned because of its attachment to Jim Crow. Nobody's calling for it to be banned because of, well, let's see, the murder, rape, and genocide of the Native Americans. Well, why did I even say that? I don't like that whole blank American thing. You're either American or you're not. Anyway, opinion aside, there are only, I forget where I read it. Somebody please correct me if I'm wrong. But there are under 1% of full-blooded American Indians within this country today. The federal government at one point got too damn tired of shooting them that they started giving them blankets with smallpox. Nobody's calling for the American flag to be banned. I just don't understand why. Anyway. We look at the flag as just as American as the Stars and Stripes itself. Just as American as America. Same thing with the Gadsden flag. We look at that as being a symbol of rebellion and down home roots and all that good stuff. Well, I had some sweet tea, but I don't have any more now because I drank it all. All of those things, we look at the flag like that, and jeez, I went to Lexington, Virginia for Lee Jackson Day, and you can look up what Lee Jackson Day is. It's the celebration of the births of Generals Lee and Generals Lee and Jackson. We went up, a whole bunch of people went up there, and we had, oh man, there was Confederate flags everywhere. Anybody that was there can tell you that. We weren't hurting nobody. We were walking down the sidewalk, all peaceful, not hurting nobody. Yet we were getting flipped off. We were getting cussed at. I even saw somebody get run over. I am not kidding you. The road went like this. And I was about like right in here. And I'm just standing there on the sidewalk, and I see this car come flying down the road here, turns, and stops right on this guy that they run over. And that's how we're treated. I was called a bunch of slurs. I am not gonna say them because they weren't very nice. Not at all. By a group of people that supposedly preach peace and tolerance. Oh, man, I'm gonna have gray hairs before I'm 30. I can see it happening. No. Before I'm 20, I can see it happening. Ramble to the side. Let's stay on track here. There was actually a story I read in the news where this lady had visited her family cemetery in West Virginia, where her Confederate ancestor was buried at, and she found that somebody had went up there and had literally dug up her ancestor. Took him. He wasn't there no more. All they found of him was the top to his skull. That's how low these people sink. I shudder to think that it was because of what I think it was about. I would hope that it actually was just grave vandalism. I hope that's what it was, and not what I think it was. I hope he wasn't singled out because he was Confederate and they took him. For God knows what they plan on doing with him. In Tennessee, in Memphis, Tennessee, the Memphis City Council wanted to dig up Nathan Bedford Forrest and his wife simply because they didn't want him buried there. That's how those people are. Granted, there are bad apples on both sides of this issue. I am not going to lie about it. There are some unsavory characters on our side as well. Like people that claim they were fighting for Southern heritage, but really they have alternate motives. We just want to be left alone to honor our dead. That's it. A lot of us feel that this flag and the soldier that bore it was as American as America itself. I mean, look at it. This country was founded by secession. Yet, you talk about the Confederacy, and it's all frowned upon. I could go on and on and on and on and on, but I choose to end this video here. So, this has been Johnny Reb, my friends. Have a good evening, morning, afternoon. Stay safe. Be nice to each other. And, do that whole pass it on stuff, Be nice to each other. Peace.